Alright, today's lesson is Unit 1, Lesson 1, Section 4, titled Dealing with Distances, the Map Scale. So the learning target for today is students will be able to estimate distances on a map using the map scale on large and small scale maps. We'll know that we've completed our learning target when we have accurate completion of Section 4's notebook, which is found on page 6 of the student workbook. So what is the map scale? Well, the scale on a map tells you how the distances on the map compare to the actual distance on Earth. As we know, when we look at a map, it's not the same area as is on the Earth. It's a shrunken version, but they are real places. So while we're looking at maybe an inch on a map, that might equal a larger distance in real life. So it's measured in two different types of distances. So you might see either miles or kilometers, or you may even see both of them. And then on the right side, we have a couple of different examples of what a map scale looks like. So this one shows you 5 different ones. These are all in miles, but you may see similar ones that are represented by kilometers. So large scale maps. So a large scale map gives a close-up view of a small area with a lot of detail. So they might show things like street names or interesting places to visit. You might also use large scale maps to find a store in a mall or to find a neighborhood road. What we're looking at on the right side of our screen here is a map of downtown Washington, D.C., and we see that we're able to use this to navigate downtown Washington, D.C. We're able to go from different monuments and different museums, like I said, interesting places to visit while we're at downtown Washington, D.C. We might also use a large-scale map maybe to navigate the halls of OPA, or you might use a large-scale map to navigate the roads in Oak Park or even Detroit. We see here that our map on the right, our example, is of Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas. So if we pull up our laser pointer here, I'll point a few things out for you. We see we have Washington, D.C. here. This is symbolized by the star. And then we have Maryland, which is a state near Washington, D.C., as well as Virginia, which is another state. Now, we have roads here, but these are main highways. We can see we've got 495, 66, 395, and so on and so forth. So we wouldn't be able to use this to navigate Washington, D.C. like our large-scale map, but we would be able to navigate from Maryland to Washington, D.C., or maybe from Virginia or Arlington, Virginia to Washington, D.C. So it's how we get from place to place when we're talking about multiple cities or multiple states. So estimating distances with a map scale. So a map scale tells you how to read distances on the map, as we discussed earlier. For instance, an inch on the map might equal 10 miles, or maybe even 100 miles, or it could even equal 1,000 miles, just depending on if we're using a large scale or a small scale map. The map scale appears either inside the map legend or in an open area of the map. So you'll have to look for it. First place you want to check is the map legend. The next place you want to check is a spot that doesn't have a lot of information present. So in order to use a map scale, because it's on the map and can't be moved around, you actually have to create what's called a scale strip. So a map scale contains 2 short lines with notches. These notches are either measured in kilometers or miles. So to make a scale strip, you actually take a strip of paper and place it underneath the scale. You'll mark the scale's notches, labeling the notches with their distances. So you might mark the 0 on your scale, and then depending on how many notches there are, you would actually put a notch for each one of the measurements on the scale. You're going to see and watch a video here in a second that goes through how to make and use a scale strip. But there's also an example on the right side of the screen where you can see the strip of paper has been placed underneath the scale, and they have actually made 2 notches, one towards the beginning and one at the end of the scale strip, so that they can move that scale around and estimate distances on the map. So as I said, you place that strip with the 0 at one point, and then you line up the other end with a point on the map, and then you read the closest number on your strip. Again, this will be viewed in the video that you'll watch after the PowerPoint, but you're just placing the 0 of your scale strip on one point of the map and then lining that up with another point on the map to estimate the distance. So there are 2 videos you should watch to help you out with this. These will be posted underneath the PowerPoint video that you're watching now on the Weebly. The one is making a scale strip, so this one's going to teach you how to make the scale strip, and then it's also going to continue and show you how you use that scale strip and how you manipulate it to estimate the distances on the map. The other one's just our scale strip song, just kind of a fun way to remember what a scale is used for and how we use it. So please, once you're finished with this, please go and watch those 2 videos to help you to understand how to use a scale strip. Thank you very much and have a great day.